Louise Witt. Where are you, Louise? Oh, there you go. I'm told that Louise is a very quick wit, but she's also a very quick study. Louise and her husband David were relatively new to the autism wars, and they're definitely not naive. They have 2 children, Catherine, who is 5, and Jack, who is 4, and Jack is the one with autism. He's been in treatment for less than 2 years. Louise has already been out meeting and debating with various politicians, and it's been written here with spatula ready. Besides being a member of FEAT and a member of the board of Autism Society of BC, Louise is one of the parents activists who will be working in the Surrey ridings of the next federal election campaign. As a matter of fact, Louise will be FEAT's go-to person for Surrey during the campaign. So please, after this meeting, please introduce yourself and ask how you can help with that. Ladies and gentlemen, Louise Witt.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to start off today by thanking all of you for being here. My son is one of the little guys you see going across the screen there. He's not here today, he's at home with a therapist. If he had enough of the words, and he will one day, I know he would want me to say to you thank you on his behalf and on behalf of the tens of thousands of Canadian children with autism who you have come out and to support today. Thank you very much. We're pretty new to the world of autism in my family. I'm much newer to the world of political advocacy. It's been a very steep learning curve. And as a family who's pretty recent on the scene, we're very fortunate. We have benefited personally from the Otten case and from the very hard, dedicated work of many, many parents who have been at this for a decade before my son was even born. We're very grateful to everything that the other parents have done. I thought, though, today that I would tell you a story about my daughter. And this is something that happened about 2 months ago as we were driving past my MP's office. She recognized the building because I had taken her in there once before to discuss Medicare and autism with him. So as we drive past, she says to me, "Mommy, who's the leader of Canada?" So I told her the Prime Minister's name. And then she says to me, "Is he a bad guy?" Now, as a mom of younger kids, I've been bracing myself for some of the simpler questions, you know, where do babies come from, that kind of stuff. Not politics just yet. So I said, "Well, why are you asking?" And she goes, "Because he doesn't make very good rules about autism. I'm way smarter than him." And you know, I think she's got a point. Reminded me of something that's posted outside of her kindergarten classroom door. It's entitled, "All I Ever Really Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten." It's written by Robert Fulgham. I'm sure many of you have read the piece. And he talks about some important life lessons. You know, wash your hands before you eat. Put things back where you found them. But he talks about some very core human values. Things like justice and equality and fairness. And the need to apply those values to government. You know, my kindergarten-aged daughter, she gets that. In fact, I think she's got more understanding and insight about autism than most of the politicians in this country combined. I think our politicians actually need a bit of an education, but I don't necessarily mean an education on autism. Rather, I think it's time for a little education on how our political process is supposed to work for us. It's pretty simple. We, the voters, elect or hire them, if you will, to represent us. If they can't, won't, or don't, then we need to elect people who have integrity and the will to get the job done. I'm getting tired of meeting informally and formally with our elected officials to be given only a few sympathetic but ultimately empty words. Many of you have heard this stuff before. It must be really hard for you. Yeah, there's a brainwave. Or my personal patronizing favorite, "I really admire what you do every day for your little boy." Yeah, I tell you, these people, they feel my pain. and then they show me the door. Well, it's time to show them the door. There are plenty of single-issue voters all across this country. Many people cast their ballot based on a single policy. Maybe it's the environment, maybe it's the mission in Afghanistan. I'm suggesting to you today that our single issue should be ending healthcare discrimination against children with autism. Afford to have yet another throwaway generation of autistic Canadians. Our kids have a right to scientifically proven medical treatment. We can't allow political indifference to come between them and their right to a decent future. We need Medicare for autism now.